Welcome to WiredToHunt's Whitetail How-Tos, where we provide a step-by-step tutorial for one important deer hunting task.
Today I want to talk about something really relevant to the public land crowd, or people who maybe are hunting smaller properties and they want to have public land as an option. And there's a couple different kinds of ways to look at finding public land parcels out there. They can go into two categories, I would say. And so the first category that we all know about might be a national grassland, national forest, a lot of state wildlife management areas, something that's gonna probably be there for my kids and your kids in the future. It's not gonna go away, it's not gonna change hands. For the most part, you can kind of rely on that land being there. But this other category that I'm pretty excited about incentivizes private landowners to open up their ground. We know as hunters, one of the biggest hurdles we have to overcome to get people into the field and to keep people in the field is just having access to ground to deer hunt. And so you can look at different states like maybe Kansas for their walk-in program, or South Dakota. At my home state in Minnesota, they started a walk-in program. You pay $3 and you have a stamp to hunt hundreds of thousands of new acres. I'm standing here in Wisconsin right now. They have some tax incentivized programs to get landowners to open up their land. There's a lot of these options across the country, and they seem to be becoming a little bit more popular, which is good news for us. The downside to these is you gotta stay up to date on them. In addition to the fact that some states really mark these properties well, so you have nice signage and you know, I'm definitely on the public land, or that's definitely a private land boundary or something. Other states don't really require it to be marked. So you gotta be really careful there so you don't end up in a property that's actually not open, or end up on a property that was open and has been taken out of the program for whatever reason. I've been bumping into this quite a bit. A landowner will pull their land out of this MFL open program. And so I'm paying attention to those very closely just to stay on the right side of the law and know what's still open and plan around to hunt. What I do, depending on what state I'm gonna hunt, is I'll just go to onX like we all do to find sort of a base layer of these properties, these private lands open to public. If I get serious about it, I'm like, that's a place I'm definitely going to whitetail hunt in the fall. I always like the feeling of knowing, okay, I've looked at this on onX, this shows public, and now I go to the state game and fish website, and they'll usually have a pretty good interactive map. And then you can dig in and find it and go, this is still showing, open to the public, same boundaries, everything. Then you know you're good to go. I do this with every property of this style that I plan to hunt, whether it's a walk-in ranch in South Dakota or something else, every single year before I go hunting. If I'm gonna go turkey hunting in the spring and then I'm gonna go whitetail hunting in the fall, I check them on onX and I check them on the state game website, just in case. If you're in a place where they're gonna have good signage, you're gonna show up and know, man, if all those signs are gone, that probably got pulled out of the program. And the other side of this that is really beneficial with kind of keeping on top of these private lands that are open to all of us public sportsmen is the fact that you find new properties that are enrolled. Now, there's not really any secrets out there, so you think you might find one that's going to be really awesome because it just went public, and that can happen to you, but everybody else kind of has the same tools you do, but that's okay. You still have the option to look in and going, okay, well, I've always hunted this spot. Now look at this chunk of private land that's open to the public just down the road. And you staying on top of that, you can just give yourself more options and have some really good public land hunts that don't happen on the kind of traditional public land that most of us maybe grew up hunting. There's a lot of new options out there and a lot of access out there that's just waiting for you to show up and go hunt some whitetails on it. If you want more whitetail hunting advice, please listen to the Wired to Hunt podcast and the Wired to Hunt Foundation's podcast, and we'll give you everything you needed to hear about deer.